Okay, this is the Assumption. Now, the Assumption, I had my mom pass away on the Assumption Day, and my father-in-law pass away on the Assumption Day. And the Assumption is Mary was taken up to heaven. On August 15th is when they celebrate it. I don't celebrate certain dates, but that's what happened. Okay, it says the fourth glorious mystery. In this mystery, we contemplate the Virgin Mary having been taken body and soul into heaven. She just went up. She didn't have to die. Okay, she went up body and soul into heaven by God amidst the rejoicing of the angels. Okay, and you see all the angels. Let us ask our celestial mother to fill us with faith and make us pure and strong, so that we may fight worthily for her on earth and rejoice with her in heaven forever. Now, I've told you several times I love Mary. She is one of my powers that help me all the time. So, she's asking us, yesterday was lean on the angels and God for support. And many of you are, and many of you are not. Okay, so this is a spiritual battle, and it's a spiritual mission, and it's a spiritual calling. So you have to have spiritual help. Now, this is the Sacred Heart of Jesus. Compassionate Jesus, I remember your gentle invitation to come and be refreshed. I bring you now all my worries, fears, needs, and doubts, and those of my world. I entrust to you my loved ones, both living and deceased, enfolding all in your love, now and evermore. Amen. So I bring up those deaths because whether my parents were karmic or not, my father-in-law and my mom, they left on Assumption Day, and I gave all of them to her, meaning I forgive everything. That's why they say that we have to forgive, right? Okay. Well, a lot of us have a hard time forgiving, but we have to forgive. So I just gave all of their things that they've done to me, good and bad, and I gave them to her. And that's what I do. And that's how I forgive. Does that mean we forget? No, we don't forget, but we forgive. And we don't let the past make us the Five of Cups. We don't let the past hurt us. We just say it's a lesson learned to get me to my next level. Now that brings me to the Oracle card. The Oracle card from Divinely Guided Light Worker deck is the water signs. Okay, now Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. You never hear me talk about astrology because I used to be into astrology. And when I found out that the moon was a space station, and I found out that everything pretty much is a lie, I stopped astrology. Now, I found Steve's Love Tarot, which is my favorite station, through his thumbnail that said Pisces. Because at that time, about 3 years ago, I was still listening to Pisces readings. I am a water sign, okay? It's very emotional, okay? So we're very emotional people. I was born on a cusp, February 21st, so I'm Aquarius Pisces. Pisces is also part of every sign. But I also got my Lemurian birth chart, as most of you know, and I say it often. So I don't know where it is at the second, but the Lemurian birth chart is where I'm from too. I'm from many different places. So Lemuria is one place. So I got my birth chart from there. So, you know, you can get your birth charts and you can study them and you can study astrology and you can know all that stuff, which I know. But I kind of left it behind, and I do more energy reading and tarot reading and I don't worry so much about signs anymore. But since this is the oracle card that we pulled, we'll go ahead and talk about that. And Steve's Love Tarot also is doing the same thing. He says, I'm not an astrologer. This is not your horoscope. He reads energy, he reads cards, and he just uses the signs because that's what people like, and they cuts them into 12 different segments. So, good morning, Irene. So, that's my take on astrology. That's my take on the moon. Steve's Love Tarot is my favorite. I love him. He has really helped me through the last 3 years. And the oracle card for the water signs is just a good way of me to be able to explain that I have a Lemurian birth chart. I'm an Aquarius Pisces, February 21st. I listen to all that kind of stuff, but I'm actually beyond that. So if it is all lies and astrology isn't what it's supposed to be, oh well. If it's the truth that it's the greatest thing on earth to tell your future, oh well, let it be. So there's my take on astrology, and I don't talk about that much, so I'm glad we got to discuss that. Okay, let's go ahead and so again, you got to be open to everything is basically what I'm saying, but so much stuff is lies that I really these days just try to focus on what my guides are telling me, and I read the energy. And it doesn't really matter if I'm a Pisces, Aquarius, cusp, or if I'm from Lemuria, or if that stuff really doesn't matter anymore. I'm on a mission, and I need to know right now, in the now, what's going on. So that's what I do. These are timeless readings. When you get them, you're supposed to get them from your guides. So you go ahead and look at a video from a year ago. That message, you were guided to that message so that you could get that message. That's what I'm into. I'm into the spirit guides. Okay? So what we have here is forgive yourself, you've done nothing wrong. And that's another energy that is really important, because I told you that the only way that the opposition can get to you is through you. Like you're your greatest enemy. The only way the enemy can really get you off track is through your thinking. Okay, so be on guard and forgive yourself, you've done nothing wrong. So again, if I told you that you have this job to do, and everything that happens in your job is a lesson to get you to the next position, and if I told you that as a boss, I think you would understand a little bit better that there's nothing you can really do wrong. And that's what God's trying to say. He's trying to say that everything he put you through is a lesson to learn from and not do again for a lot of them. Okay, the Mage deck. Let's see what we get from the Mage deck. Justice. Yesterday we left off on Judgment. Justice is called. Justice has been served. So once again, all those things that you went through are to get you to this point. Okay, here's a good example. There's somebody that went through some horrendous acts from somebody that was supposed to be a relative, right? And had to go to court and put this person in prison. And they said, why? Why did I have to go through this? Woe is me, right? And they come out the other end and they realize that they were the instrument that God used to put this bad man away so this bad man wouldn't hurt other people. And once they saw it in the spiritual eyes, they no longer felt like a victim. They felt like a hero. And that's the kind of energy I'm talking about. We're heroes. We go through our assignments for God. And we're heroes. We're not victims. Again, it's all about perception. Everything's about perception. I can have a glass of water sitting here, and you can say, oh, that's half empty. And another person can look at it and say, oh, she's got a half full glass of water. Water glass didn't change. Nothing changed except your perception of it. Okay, so that's exactly what we're trying to get to explain. That's the energy today. Is forgive yourself. You've done nothing wrong. Justice has been served. In order for justice to be served, you had to go through what you went through. Okay? Kind of like me being in AA for 28 years, right? All my experiences that I share, all the people that I help are all part of. How could I help somebody if I didn't go through it myself, right? Well, we discussed that. A lot of people have plaques on their wall that say, I am your helper. Well, book smart's good, but getting down in there and doing it is a lot better, but it's hard. That's where we get into that mentality of, oh, why did this happen to me? Oh, woe is me. Well, it's not woe is me. Okay, bottom of the deck. King of Swords. All about the truth. And that's pretty much what we've been talking about. We've been talking about truth. We've been talking about real inner truth. Why you go through what you go through. It's to get you to right now, right here. And it's really exciting energy. It feels like the boss is going to come in any moment and say, you promoted. That's the kind of energy it feels like. Okay? And we have the King of Swords and Justice. Okay? So pretty powerful cards. Okay, we're going to pick Judgment and Six of Cups. Okay? Judgment, you know what judgment is. We just talked about that. And Six of Cups is, again, see the boy on top with the little doggy, and now he's a grown man with the doggy. Six of Cups is nostalgia. It's about learning from our past. Everything I just said. Judgment and Six of Cups in the top two cards. Okay? Queen of Swords. Now, we just had the King of Swords on the bottom of the deck, and there's his partner. So we do still want a mission partner. Queen and King want to be together. It looks like through Judgment and Justice, it's coming. And it's all about when you've gotten past your past. Once you've gotten past your past, you can reap your rewards. 9 wands. 9s are endings. So you're taking down the old broken fence and you're putting up a new one. That's what I'm getting from those cards, okay? Then we have the King, another good, powerful card, the King of Wands, the King of Questing, the King of Q. What that's telling us, your manifestations have come down, you're questing, okay? But the Queen of Cups is right after it. So the Queen of Cups, now I have to tell you something. The card just flew out and flew on the ground, and she flew down there upside down. So what I'm catching from this is, if the King keeps sitting, the King is going to lose his Queen of Cups. Okay, so she flew out, landed upside down, meaning she's not waiting around. Okay, so the King of Questing, the King of Wands, can't be fickle. He has to be faster. Now, the Emperor, he lost out, because he wasn't fast enough. Meaning, if he would have been around and faster, he could have already had this position a few years ago. But since he was too slow, therefore you're getting the Hierophant, which is the highest position mission partner you can get. Because you've come this far alone. Nobody stepped in the last few years. So you now are going to your highest level. Remember when I said that it feels like the energy of somebody coming in and giving you that promotion? That's exactly right. You stuck it out. You stuck it out. Now, the same thing's going on, okay? The same thing's going on. Somebody is going too slow, and they're going to lose their Queen of Cups if they don't get busy. Okay? Now, we got peaceful, easy feeling. So you got to stay in peace. If it doesn't bring you peace, goodbye, Four of Wands. And that's with the Hermit card. So that means go within. The Hermit is going within. And once you go within, if it doesn't give you that peaceful, easy feeling, then let it go. Okay? Now, I love the pictures on the new decks. I'm so used to my pictures, so it's nice. Now, if we ever get two the same, remember a few days ago we had 2 Ten of Swords. And that was really important because you're leaving behind the Ten of Swords. You're leaving behind all the sadness and sorrow and all the swords that got put in your back. Okay? Because everything's changing. The Wheel of Fortune with the Magician. Okay? Now this is perfect because the Wheel of Fortune is everything's changing, and the Magician is magically. So once again, I'm drawn to his hat. You see the infinity symbol on his hood? Okay, everything's changing really fast. And that's why back here, the king, if he's going to stay sitting in his quest, he's going to lose the Queen of Cups because she's going to fly away, just like she just did on the floor. And she'll go to her other king, okay? Because there's multiple applicants, all right? So you have to go within. And if it doesn't give you that peaceful, easy feeling, then it's not. Everything's changing magically. Okay, and we'll pull a couple more. Boom. The Tower and the Eight of Swords. Okay, so whoever is stuck, Eight of Swords is stuck, a tower is going to happen that makes you unstuck. Okay, now we're going to go backwards just a little because those are really powerful cards. I said the Wheel of Fortune and the Magician. I said things are changing really quick. I get the quickness of you're sitting here 1 minute and the next minute, remember I told you your house is on fire, in the kitchen, right? There's a fire and it burns the whole house up. So 1 minute you're sitting in your house and everything's fine. The next minute you don't have a house, okay? That's the kind of fastness that I'm talking about, okay? Magically. To me, that kind of energy is like earthquakes, fires, accidents, and I don't mean it in a bad way. I'm just trying to explain the energy, okay? You're riding along in the car 1 minute, and the next minute you're in an accident, your car's totaled, you have, blood everywhere, and you go to the hospital, and I was in a major car accident once. Everything was fine 1 minute. The next minute I wake up in the hospital screaming, okay? That's the kind of fastness that I'm talking about. That's the kind of energy I'm talking about. So I'm not talking about something bad's going to happen to you. I'm just trying to explain the energy. We are divinely protected right now, majorly, okay? So you think you're stuck, but the tower is happening. And I feel it more worldly than I do personally. But again, it could be just personally, again, like your house went on fire and therefore you're no longer going to live at that address. Yesterday everything fine. Here's my address, here's my house. Next day, no house, no address, okay? That's the kind of energy I'm talking about. But it also can be worldly. Like 1 minute the bank system is good, the next minute the bank system collapsed and nobody has no money in the bank or something like that. But remember, the QFS, quantum financial system, is backing it up. So anything that bad happens, just know that the good is in place. And for those of you that don't know what QFS is, you'll have to look it up because I'm not going to get into it all. But it's a financial system that goes by the conscience. So we won't have the evil, greedy bankers taking all of our money. Okay, so the tower is going to happen to get us unstuck. Major great cards, okay? When the tower and the Eight of Swords are together, that just shows me that there won't be no more stuckness. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and end it there. I'm going to pull just a couple from St. Michael yet. He says, keep your eyes on the targeted intended target like he always does. Keep your eye on your targeted intention and let go of fear now. And he's telling you a lot that lately. So he told you to forgive yourself. You've done nothing wrong. You're getting the promotion. Keep your eyes on your targeted intention and let go of fear now. So thank you guys for listening.